We're at faithmiddleton.com. The gang is here, and a favorite topic of mine, anything goes. We don't know what our buddies will bring up. Our buddies are Chris Prosperi of Metro Beast in Simsbury, Connecticut, the wine guy Mark Raymond in Old Wethersfield, Carl Franklin in Eastern Connecticut, and Joanne Church in New London. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey there.
Hey, Faith.
Okay, Chris, anything goes. What's
Anything
on
goes.
your mind? Yeah.
All right, what's on my mind? Okay, you ready? Because before the show started, we were all talking about this. Brr. I don't know why, but ever since the clock ticked past August, I've been freezing. So I've been making soups a lot. And I found a guy doing a recipe online, and I kind of modified it, but I found it really interesting the way he makes this chicken type soup. So starts with a box of chicken broth, the normal stuff. Put that in a pot, and then he puts water into the box and does that. So it's equal parts. So 1 box broth, 1 box water, puts it in a pot, brings it up to a simmer, and then he throws, believe it or not, a whole peeled carrot, 2 pieces whole celery sticks, maybe he broke them a little bit to fit them in the pot, and 1 whole small red onion and a couple cloves of garlic. And he simmers that. And that's the part of it I took. So simmer that for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Wait a minute. So he doesn't chop.
No,
those
no
things.
knife involved. That's why I loved it. I was like, I could get onto this, right? Okay, so basically you have a pot of broth with a nice size, onion in there and some carrot, celery, and some garlic cloves. And it just simmers for about 45 minutes to an hour.
But he did not put the packaging in there.
No.
No.
No packaging.
He didn't start with a stone, did he?
Nope. Didn't start with a stone. But then scoop that stuff out, put it in a blender, right? The beaker of a blender, and then add some of the broth to the blender, and then starting on low, just get it to where that stuff purees nice and smooth, and throw it back into the pot with the rest of the broth and bring that back to a simmer. And that's your soup base. And I absolutely love this. I did it once where I just did that and cooked some little noodles, pastinis, the little guys. And then I put that, I cooked that on the side, and then I poured this over it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. The other day I did it and I had some leftover chicken. So I just chopped up the chicken and threw it in that with some bigger noodles. So it's like my favorite fall now soup base, I guess.
Wow.
And I'm going to keep that in my fridge all winter long. You just make a big batch of it, and then you can do so many things with it. And it's thicker, right? It's thicker than it would be, right? And it's not gelatinous because it's not homemade stock, but pureeing those veggies in there gives it a nice oomph, a nice thickness. So that's my way too cold for this
well
early
played,
in the fall.
sir.
I think it just warmed my soul.
Right?
Yeah, right?
And again, seasoning, you don't have to worry about too much because that box, broth has a lot of seasoning in it, a lot of salt and stuff. So thinning it with water, cuts it back, but it still has enough. So you're really simple.
And no chopping, so
And no
runny
chopping.
ears,
That's why
no
I was
eyes.
like, no, nothing. No, nothing. Just boom. And again, and then you could change it into a lot of things depending on what you have left over in your fridge. You can make an instant soup once you have that.
I can't believe that chopping
I know.
vegetables has now become a chore.
Yeah, and I'm a chef. And I do it all day long, but I don't know. It's like, wow, I don't have to even get the knife or cutting board dirty. This is my new recipe.
Right?
Or you can get kids or grandkids,
to do the chopping for you.
Do the chopping
or
for you.
like little sous chefs.
Okay, so Carl, what's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm making for dinner tonight.
Okay.
Ooh.
I am making a Polish dish, usually made with egg noodles, but I'm going to omit the egg noodles. I'm going to shred some cabbage. I'm going to saute that in olive oil with some garlic, a little salt, pepper, and I'm going to throw in some caraway seeds.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is this from a recipe, or did you just in your mind?
No. Yeah, it's from a recipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to slice up some kielbasa and brown that in another pan with butter.
Now we're talking.
Butter.
Yeah,
butter.
Kielbasa with butter.
Yeah. So then I'm going to combine all those. I'm going to finish it with a little sour cream.
Oh, and is it a classic Polish dish? Because it
It's
sounds
a classic
like the
Polish
ingredients
dish.
are. Wow,
Yeah.
I want some.
And typically you fold egg noodles into it, right?
Okay.
And so you got the cabbage, the egg noodles, the caraway seed, the garlic, the kielbasa, and finish it with sour cream. Yummy,
So
yummy.
you're trying to keep this low carb, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it sounds inexpensive, too.
Yes, very inexpensive. Great way to stretch some kielbasa.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I love the sautéed cabbage part, too.
I do like sautéed
cabbage. I love cabbage.
All right. Do you? I've
Love
never heard
cabbage.
you
With
say that
garlic.
before.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's the easiest onion,
Braised red cabbage.
even just
with apples and sausage.
apples.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Maybe some chestnuts.
It goes with everything, and it can last a couple days and not taste bad.
You
That's
can have
bad.
the leftovers.
You know what?
You can have 'em.
That would be a great name for your cookbook, Joanne. It can last a couple days and it doesn't taste bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's not bad.
I would buy that book totally.
Right?
Oh yeah.
As the famous Greek philosopher Mediocrities once said, meh.
That's like on my Christmas list. It's like the first thing I would get. It's like, so, we're going to take a quick break, as they tell you. And, then we'll be right back with more of, faithmiddleton.com on the, food schmooze. Okay. I'm Faith Middleton. I'm with the gang of my treasured buddies, and we are doing our show this time, as we do from time to time, on it's called Anything Goes. So anything, sometimes even my buddies here don't know I'm going to do this, and anything that they think of or that's been noodling in their brains, they bring up on the show. Okay, so Mark Raymond, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind with this cooler weather is it's time to start drinking some red wine.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Switching the reds.
And I am not picky about my style of red.
Yeah.
I am an all-inclusive red wine drinker. Some people even call me a professional drinker because of what I do.
That is so generous of you.
But no, I mean, the other day I was having a little bit of Rioja, which Reserva Rioja is one of my favorites.
Love it.
All year round. But we're getting into great time for Barolo and Amarone. Oh, and
Love Amarone.
Mark, did I tell you that I found a bottle of Barolo at a grocery store in Tuscany for €25?
that's a great price.
Bring it home.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
They're out there.
Barolo can be very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not. I don't know if many people know this. Barolo, which is made with the Nebbiolo grape, up in the Piedmont region of Italy, is actually one of the smallest growing regions in all of the world. So, you talk about availability of Nebbiolo that is in the Barolo DOC, the region. It's about a third of the size of Burgundy, which I never realized. It's about a quarter of the size of Napa, which is absolutely incredible. So, when you start thinking of, to me, I think Napa is small. I don't think it's a big growing region. When you look at, some of the great wine regions like Bordeaux and Tuscany, but Barolo is so tiny and minute. And there's, I want to say, pretty close to 200 producers inside that small little area, which is absolutely incredible.
And so delicious.
Do they grow it outside the region and make no Nebbiolo or a Barolo type wine or style wine?
Nebbiolo, yep. Nebbiolo is a great style of wine. It's generally not aged for 2 years,
like the Barolos are,
like
right?
the Barolo is, but but Nebbiolo as a grape as a whole is just fantastic. Super light in color. If you put it in the glass, it's lighter than Pinot Noir. It looks almost transparent that you could read through it.
Wow.
And you look at it and you say, "There's no way this is going to be a big, bold wine." And then you get it on the palate, and you're like, "Holy cow!"
Wow,
This is
isn't that
incredible.
something? So, is there a special kind? You know, if folks are listening right now and they're thinking, "Oh, that sounds really good. What do I get when I get out there?" Do you care about brands or?
I always have my favorite producers. You know, producers for me, I think is one of the most important things about wine. I think, you know, you find your favorites, and that's what you kind of gravitate around. And Gianni Gallardo is one of my favorite producers.
How do you spell that?
Family-owned.
How do you spell that? Gallardo.
Gallardo would be Gagliardo.
Okay.
So in the American,
like it sounds.
in the U.S. we would say Gagliardo.
Yeah.
But it's Gallardo. Gianni Gallardo, that winery has been around for 7 generations now.
Wow.
They're
Nice.
in the Valley of Lamora, and in the Barolo region, and they're organic, they're biodynamic, and
Wow.
they don't put it on the back label because they don't want to be pigeonholed into that market of organic growers. They want to be known for great Barolo.
Wow,
And they
that's
are
interesting.
fantastic.
Oh, that's going to be
Interesting.
my weekend wine this weekend. I'm going to go look for it.
Yeah.
You're right, because
Gallardo.
it is time to switch to reds.
It is.
Except if I go to the wine store, I should say Gagliardo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do that.
All the wine store owners are going to be like, what's going on with everyone asking for this Gargliardo?
Gagliardo. But
It
you know what,
sounds like-
Chris, I had a question for you, because we always talk about like local growers and foragers, and one of the things that's on my mind with all this rain that we've had over the last couple of weeks, and then, you know, we say it's cool in the morning, but in the day it gets good
It's
and
toasty,
warm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have a secondary mushroom season?
Yeah. Oh, the mushrooms are coming strong right now. The hen of the woods, the chicken of the woods. Yeah. The fall mushrooms are big this year because, like you said, we've had that perfect mix of rain, maybe too much rain. So you have to be careful. Like they get really muddy, you know, and dirty. So you have to be more conscious about cleaning them, because when it rains, they get splashed on, you know, and that mud comes up on them. So you have to pick everything off them. But boy, we've seen some big chicken of the woods, like 20, 30 pounders.
Wow.
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 So boy, that stopped me. Chris, do you, when we clean mushrooms that we, you know, if we happen to get some of these ones you're talking about, should we keep them away from water and just brush them? Or
no, they get, like I said, this year, sometimes yes. If it's only lightly dirty, then you can just brush them off. But when it's like this and it's been raining so much and they get splashed on, what I do is a big pot or a big bowl of water in the sink, and I take them and I plunge them in there and just pull them right out of it and put them into a colander, and then I let it drain, and then I dump that water, fill the water up again, cold water, and do that 3, maybe 4 times until you shake all the dirt off it. So it's really just going for a quick plunge in that bowl of cold water, and then I change the water because the dirt, you can see the dirt coming off the mushrooms, so they're not soaking in there, because mushrooms are like sponges. They'll soak that water up if you leave them in there too long. So
Right,
just a
right.
big plunge and then immediately out, change the water, and keep doing that until when you take them out and you look at the water and it's clear and clean and there's no debris in it. But like I said, some of the mushrooms we've been getting, they're like twigs in them and sticks and dirt and rocks, and because when it rains hard, things, like I said, splash up from the ground into the mushrooms.
Wow, that's interesting. So I want to come back to Mark for just 1 second, because Mark, one of our favorite, I know this is one of your favorites too. It's one of my absolute favorites, as you know. You came on the show and you talked about museum. And is that a Rioja, right?
No, it's actually from a little region called Cigales, Spain.
Oh,
It's
so-
about 2.5 hours west of Rioja.
Oh, okay.
Grown in one of the smallest regions of all of Spain.
So I just want to say it's still, you know, I hadn't had it for a long time. And then it was at my local wine store, and I thought, I'm gonna get this. I haven't tried this in a long time, and I was afraid it was going to taste different. You know how every year it's a little different. I thought it was going to taste different, maybe in a bad way. So I had, a couple sips, and I thought, oh no, this is so good. Yeah. So it's museum.
Yeah. Don't hate me, Faith, but I have it on my wine list now, so I can take it home anytime.
You're such a bad boy.
Faith, I got to tell you one of my favorite selling stories with museum. Mm-hmm. So I was in the Charlotte airport waiting for my connection, and I had a little bit of time, so I was sitting at this little taqueria Mexican restaurant.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
If you've been to the Charlotte airport.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
Wait a minute, Carl knows this airport.
Oh yeah,
I do. So I know that taqueria.
So I was sitting at this bar, and there was a seat open next to me, and this guy sits up, and I'm having a margarita, and he sits down, and he's like, "That looks good." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're really good. You should try one." So we start chatting up, and he's from Pittsburgh. And he works in the health industry. And he's like, "So what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I import wine." And he goes, "Oh, man, do you have a good Cabernet you could recommend?" I said, "You know what? I do. But I'm going to recommend something you try that if you love Cabernet, you're going to love this." And I told him about museum being, 75 to 100-year-old Tempranillo vines from the little region in Spain, aged in French oak for 2 years. I said, if you like Cabernet, you need to try this wine. So he takes out his phone, goes on to the Vivino app, and he orders right there.
That's
right there. He orders 2 6-packs
delivering
to his
my house.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't you know, he sent me an email a week later, and he said, "Mark, that was amazing. I'm going to continue to buy that, but could you give me another suggestion? Because now I'm hooked."
Wow.
That's so cool.
That's a great story.
I love that you buy stuff like that now, too.
Yeah.
Right? Let me just
I didn't
bring
even
that
know
up
you
on
could
my
do that.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the website he went to?
Vivino.
Yep, that's one of them.
When I was introduced to Vivino, which is probably about 10 years ago, you used to use it to check the scores on wine. It didn't have a purchasing app. Now you can go on and you can buy.
Yeah,
a
couple days
you'll
you'll
ship
have
direct to your door.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much is the price on museum now? Because that's what's always amazed me for the old vines.
I thought I paid about $25. Did I pay $25?
Yeah, it's usually somewhere between a good deal will be $20.
Yep.
A regular price would be like $25.
Yeah, and put that up against a Napa cab, you'd have to spend $50 to get close, right?
Absolutely.
On the
Napa
low end,
cab,
you'd have
Alexander
to pay
Valley, would have to be
$40, $50 easy to get that quality.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's why we sell it. We turn
It's
people
so
on
good.
like, you want a good wine at a good
It's
price.
such a great wine.
This is it.
Okay, you talk to Chris about that, people. Okay, so Carl, and then we're going to go to Joanne. But Carl, so what's going on? Carl's been traveling all over the place, and when I see where he is, I just roll my eyes and think, why aren't I there? Okay,
I'm only going to take a couple of minutes to tell you about my trip, but I'll link to a video that I made that has people talking about it a lot, all the photos from Tuscany. It was basically a training class and a vacation at the same time. I called it a traincation. And it was held in a castle. It's the kind of place that it's not like a hotel. You can't just book a room. You have to book the whole castle. So it's out of the scope of most people's reach, right? But basically we had 4 couples that came, and we had class from 9 to 1 every morning after breakfast. And then during that class, a tour guide took the ladies around to visit places, whether a cheese shop or a wine shop or olive oil place, making leather, and have a little snack. And then we caught up with everybody after. So it was just a wonderful experience.
That is great. That's a great. Did you say that was Tuscany, right? Was that the last trip? Yeah.
Yeah. It was in Maremma.
Maremma, what a beautiful area.
I got to start coding for websites so I can go next time.
Yeah, right. Got to get you up to speed on some programming.
Carl would send pictures, but he'd take pictures of the food too.
Yes,
And that's when I would just roll my eyes.
I know.
Oh no.
Oh, the charcuterie boards. Oh my God.
Yeah, that looked
It's
good.
ridiculous.
Oh,
I think in one of the exchanges, Chris said, "Bring me one of those back."
yes.
Okay. All right. So Joanne, is that
Wait, I'm going to follow Tuscany and that great wine.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely, you are.
Yes,
All
you
right.
are. Okay.
So for anything goes, I thought this was great because last week I had friends over for dinner and I wanted to make moussaka. I don't know if I ever made it before. If I did, I don't remember. So that's Greek eggplant lasagna. So there's eggplant on the bottom and the top. And the filling is onions, garlics, ground beef, lamb, or turkey or chicken, or, red wine, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, broth, bay leaves, cinnamon, and oregano. So my friend,
it's only $800.
Wait, no, listen. So I tell my friends, I'm so excited. I'm going to make this. And one of my friends shares, she can't eat onions, garlic, red wine, tomatoes. And I thought, you know what? I'm so excited about making this for my friends. I'm going to make something happen. So I made what I call the fall New England moussaka.
Oh boy.
So I put, it wasn't horrible.
Maple syrup.
I never thought of it. But pumpkin instead of tomato paste,
yeah.
and then apples.
Sure, why not?
But the great thing is I knew that whatever I put in it would be great because the bechamel sauce was poured all over it at the end. And that this recipe was a little different because it called for eggs and egg yolk. So it wasn't just the white roux. It got
A little heartier.
So it was great, but I thought, are just going to go and just make it happen, whatever it is, just make it happen. So that was fun, and it tasted like apple pie, but other than that, it was a nice supper.
Savory
There
apple
you
pie.
go.
See, I would have made it the regular way and then just heated up some chicken nuggets for my friend.
I know. Well,
Hey, how considerate of you, Carl.
Yeah. So, here, have some dog food.
we don't want you to feel different.
I can't. I have known Joanne a long time. Did I ever know in our history of knowing each other and your spouse, did I ever know that you were this kind of cook, that you would dream up recipes?
Listen, I was so
Love it.
excited about this moussaka, and I wanted to keep that excitement going.
Yeah.
And so I thought, just don't do anything that's going to make somebody feel bad. Just make it happen. And so
That's awesome.
it's just
Yeah.
like, I wanted to stay excited. It was really about the sauce.
Yeah. With egg yolk in it? Come on. How
yeah,
bad can that be?
We even used turkey, so it was like less flavorful. But also, you know what I used was stock powder, which I never have used before.
Oh,
So
I've never
that was
used it.
kind
Was
of
it good?
fun. Yeah, well, it gave it
I'm
a
gonna
little
try it.
flavor. It's hard to, and the oregano could only do so much.
Is it
Wow,
like bouillon powder?
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Salty?
very.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But there's one, it's called Vegeta, I think, and I couldn't find it, but that's supposed to be like the best.
So what did your friend say eating this?
Listen, my friends are nice people, so they said that it was good, and it wasn't bad. It was a little bland. Like, look at we're garlic, onion,
Oh,
bacon,
sure.
like people, right?
Yeah.
So it was just like, but I felt really good. I was still excited, and everyone got to eat. Everyone got to eat the same thing. No one had
Yeah.
to sit in the corner and eat the nuggets.
Right.
Like at Carl's house.
That's what you get.
Now, at Carl's, you wouldn't get nuggets. You'd get like corned beef that had been
something.
smoked on the grill for
You get something better than nuggets.
Seven
Just
days.
took it out of the freezer. Yeah, yeah.
I've never had a challenge like that. That's tough. My wife doesn't eat onions, but she will tolerate onion powder. So I've learned to cook a lot with onion powder. But every once in a while,
Why not?
Now,
I
what
have
if
my onions.
what if the onion was pureed in the broth, like Chris
No,
was
it doesn't
talking
matter. It's something in the body of the onion is upsetting to her digestive system.
about? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But onion powder is good.
onion powder works.
Whose turn is it?
I think we're
yours.
It's
Oh,
yours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Forgot
What
Faith.
should I?
Come
Oh,
on, Faith.
No, I didn't. I didn't even know. Okay, I have to think of something. Give me just 1 second. What do I? Okay, so
Anything goes.
No, I've had the flu, so I basically have been having soup. So I've had soup for like 8 days. Chicken noodle soup, and it's really wonderful.
It's
and,
healing.
Friends have dropped it off outside my door. I won't let them in here because I want to make sure they're not going to get my flu. But so chicken noodle soup is what I've got to talk to you about.
It's the best.
And it is. And I asked a friend of mine to buy it for me. And so it's not like I sat and made it, because when you have the flu, you're not going to be doing that. Yeah. But to have those broad noodles with the chicken broth, and you just heat it up very quickly in the pan and you're done. That was really, really good. And so I would just say, look up a chicken noodle soup recipe, which is going to be pretty simple. And at best, you'll have to cook the noodles.
I love the thick noodles too, like you mentioned.
Yeah, they're really good. So anyway, so that's my very complicated recipe for you folks.
Love it.
Okay, so does anybody have anything else?
Well, I did want to mention that there's a lot of garlic festivals going on in southeastern Connecticut, and I'm missing all of them. But for the Basra Fair, I just looked up what some of the items were. So they have, garlic aioli on sliders and flatbread with roasted garlic, not to poo-poo it, garlic knots, just things that you get. But garlic jam, which I'd never heard of, garlic-infused honey.
Oh,
Right?
Really? I wonder
Guinness
how that is.
Oh, I think for cooking, absolutely. Guinness cupcake with black garlic frosting.
Good
I
God.
don't know
No
what that is.
kidding.
I'd try
That's
that.
crazy talk.
Garlic butter kettle corn. I know. And then hummus, relish, baked apple with caramel garlic topping.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That one I don't know.
Have any of you been to the Big E?
Not yet.
Are you gonna go?
Lately.
Long ago.
It's going
long
right
ago.
now.
Yeah.
You do want to go, Faith?
No, I said I have been there long ago.
Oh, long ago.
Yeah.
Wow, you're going to pick her up? Carl's going to pick you up.
Yeah,
Bring
sure.
you to the Big E.
You don't want
As
to
soon
do
as
that,
the
Carl.
flu's over.
Hop
Still
on
got
the
a-
back of my moped.
Do we still have a week? We still have a week? Or is it over
Yeah.
this week?
No, this weekend is the end.
This weekend's
Yep.
the end.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Ends on
So
Sunday.
are we airing before this weekend? This is obviously going to be
We're
cut
going
out.
to air Friday.
Friday. Okay. So that'll give them no
2
days.
days.
No days to
Yeah.
get there.
No, it's the last 2 days of the best days. I always
last 2
Yeah,
days.
right.
Yeah.
But this Friday is Basra Fair,
Run right down there now.
or the Basra Fair.
It's going to be gone. You better get there.
Go down the slide. Have some kettle corn.
That's it.
I love
Go to
kettle
the New
corn.
England area, New England houses, and have the chowder and
Chowder.
the baked potato from Maine.
yeah.
Baked potato.
Who does that kettle corn? What's that?
Oh God, everybody
Farm
does it.
Yeah, I know.
No. There's a farm place.
Every fair in
here
Connecticut has
Kettle corn. Yeah.
Well,
kettle corn.
Yeah, I'm so mad.
Isn't
that I
there
can't
is there a
remember.
Guilford Fair in the fall?
Oh, in the fall?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
remember
know.
going to see
I'm so cut
taking the
off from
kids
the
down there and
world.
seeing a good country show too.
Oh,
Good country performer.
on the green?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not on the green. No, there's like
Fairground.
an air
the
Very end.
fairgrounds.
fairgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
Huh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this has really been fun.
Yeah.
You've gotten me hungry for about 87 things.
And
And
thirsty
soup.
for some red wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I missed you
yeah.
guys.
I know. We missed you
I know,
too.
you devil.
I want to give you a big old hug.
Oh, I know. So, did Kelly, your wife Kelly, went?
She did not. No, she stayed home.
Okay.
She had some things to take care of here, but
Okay.
there will be other opportunities.
Oh,
She'll
I
be
know.
talking to him next week, maybe.
She's coming with me to Portugal in October. We're going to
Nice.
Porto.
Porto.
That's good wine too.
Another great city.
Another great, amazing wine city.
Yeah.
What is the name of the place in Portugal that I discovered only online? Did I discover it? It's incredible, this place. Okay, Carl, I'm going to look it up.
All right.
On my phone.
If I find it, I'll put it on the
Write
website.
it to you. Okay. Okay. All right, people.
Okay.
Bonbon, I forgot to say that our mascot, Bonbon, who stayed in his bed, because I've been in bed, he stayed in his bed, and so he's in the bedroom, and he stayed there. You know, usually he comes out here when I'm out here in what I call the studio. And so, he stayed in there. So Bonbon says hello.
Hey, Bonbon.
I know. Okay. All right, people. We'll see you next time, right?
Okay.
See you next time.
Ciao.
See you next week.
FaithMiddleton.com.
Ciao, ciao.
Waiting for the summer to come.